Here's some more news in the world of electrification and renewables. Tesla has its AI Day coming up on the 30th of September, where hopefully they're going to be showing off Optimus, the Tesla bot. I'm hopeful that they'll be showing Optimus actually doing something rather than just moving around, as that's already been done with a lot of other robots. Tesla need to show some advancement in robotics. We'll wait and see. Tesla's going to be increasing its base of full self-driving drivers from 100,000 to 160,000. I'm still not sure about the name full self-driving personally. I've had it on my Model 3, but I've only got enhanced autopilot on my Model Y. I think enhanced autopilot is a closer description to what you actually get at the moment. Xpeng now have their own version called City Navigation Guided Pilot, or NGP. However, it's only available where they have high resolution mapping done. So it's very limited. I think at the moment it's just in Guangzhou. It also requires constant updates to those maps, whereas Tesla's version uses artificial intelligence, and it's actually based more on what the human does. So it's a bit more intuitive and can cope with many more situations than NGP can. And I think it is the way forwards. SpaceX has launched another batch of 54 laser-equipped satellites into orbit recently. And now Starlink covers all 7 continents, including Antarctica, although coverage for that area is not total. Eventually, it's going to be worldwide. And I've got Starlink at home, and it's brilliant. It's looking more likely that Tesla will build its next gigafactory in Canada, as more and more activities are happening there with government paperwork and so on. Tesla's hired a new minerals strategist, Alim Ladak, who's a former mining engineer. And along with that, government officials from Quebec travelled to California to meet with executives from Tesla. It's getting exciting. Another gigafactory. Australia would be nice, of course. BYD not only makes electric cars, but electric buses and other things as well. At a recent transport event in Germany, BYD unveiled a myriad of new EV technologies for the commercial market, and they're going to debut in Europe. And the most prominent of these was the new BYD e-bus platform, using its LFP blade batteries, of course. And these blade batteries will also be used in the BYD electric trucks. No further details about this were available at the moment. When a caravan with an EV can take quite a chunk off the range, unless you can get an electric caravan. And there are plenty of new caravans coming onto the market with good EV capabilities. Some even have got a large battery that will power the caravan itself using electric motors. So it makes towing the caravan a lot more efficient. So there's another one that's come to the market in the US called the NS1, which has got up to a 5.5 kilowatt hour battery at 24 volts. It's got a 5 kilowatt inverter at 240 volts. And apparently up to 2 kilowatts of solar panels, although where they're going to fit them, I don't know. This is unfortunately going to cost over the equivalent of $100,000 Australian. I don't think that's going to be doing very much. But another one I came across today is the Colorado Teardrop, which can charge your EV whilst parked. It comes with a 75 kilowatt hour battery, and it's stored in the base of the van. It's only a prototype, unfortunately, at the moment, but it's got some interesting potential. If they could add a couple of hub motors and some sensors, it could power itself, and then the EV towing it will not lose any range or minimal. According to Troy Teslike, the backlog of orders for Tesla cars is decreasing. It was estimated that on August the 31st, the backlog was 414,000 cars, or about 102 days worth of production. It's still a lot higher than at the end of 2021 though. Giga Shanghai and Giga Fremont have ramped up production significantly, and as Giga Berlin and Giga Texas come online, this should decrease even more. Perhaps as the backlog is cleared, Tesla may be prompted to reduce prices a bit. We can live in hope, although I've already bought my Y. For those of you in America, there's a program called Jay Leno's Garage. And this last week, Jay Leno visited SpaceX and Elon Musk. Here's a little snippet.
Tonight on Jay Leno's Garage.
Even if we were sure Earth would be fine forever, do you want to be here forever? Do we have a spurt of adventure? Do we want to go out there and see the rest of the universe? Do we want to find out what's out there and maybe meet some alien civilizations? And if so, we need to be a multi-planet species. That's the next step. And then we can go from there to being a multi-stellar species.
And for those of you interested in watching the full story, I'll put the link below. And the one saying that I rather liked from this show was right at the end when Elon said, if you aren't breaking the laws of physics, it can be done. So Tesla has updated their app to 4.13, and it's now possible to order a new car from the app. All you need to do is click on the picture in the top right hand corner, scroll across, click on order now, and then you can order your car from there. Suppose that makes life a bit easier for some, but you've already got to have the app installed and already own a Tesla, possibly. We shall wait and see what happens with that. New Tesla V4 superchargers are rolling out, with the first V4 stations are planned for Arizona. Now, V3 had a max charging rate of 250 kilowatts, and it's expected that V4 will obviously be higher, maybe 350 kilowatts, but nothing's been confirmed yet. This site in Arizona will probably have 40 stalls, including at least one pull-through bay for vehicles towing a trailer. We could do with some of those in Australia. And they're also planning to have a large solar panel array and a Tesla Mega Pack battery storage so that you can generate and store power for use when needed. The Tesla Model Y has got the best resale value in China amongst all EVs. It's the best-selling premium SUV, and it's retained almost 90% of its resale value after 1 year, according to data released by the China Automobile Dealers Association. Here's hoping. The Hertz rental company is buying 100,000 Tesla vehicles, and that was announced back in October 2021. In April 2022, they announced they were going to purchase 65,000 EVs over 5 years from Polestar. Now, GM is set to sell 175,000 EVs to Hertz over the next 5 years, as Hertz moves more and more into the EV rental market. Hertz is going to order Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, and the Canadian-made BrightDrop EVs over the next 5 years. And they've set a goal that by the end of 2024, 25% of its fleet will be electric. The future is bright. According to Renew Economy, in the area of renewables, there are some massive solar farms planned for Australia. Fortescue Metals Group has said it's going to spend, wait for it, 9.2 billion with a B Australian dollars over the next 4 years on its decarbonisation strategy. It plans to add 2 to 3 gigawatts of wind and solar generation, as well as battery storage. And it's planning on transitioning its mining fleet and locomotives to green fuels. That probably also includes hydrogen. A consortium of 3 Korean industrial giants have unveiled plans to develop a green energy export corridor connecting North Queensland to the Northeast Asian countries. They plan on exporting more than 1 million tonnes a year of green ammonia, which they'll use to convert to hydrogen. And that's going to be powered by 3 gigawatts of renewable energy generation. And a Spanish firm, Gran Solar Group, is taking a lead role in building 2 solar projects in Australia for Lightsource BP over the next 2 years. Now, Lightsource BP is 50% owned by oil giant BP, and they're planning on installing a solar farm with the capacity of 425 megawatts near Dubbo in New South Wales, and another with a capacity of 90 megawatts in Victoria. But at least BP are beginning to see the light. Denmark is home to the world's first offshore wind farm back in 1991, and it's seeking to drive a 7-fold increase in global offshore capacity. It's going to go from 57 gigawatts up to 380 gigawatts by 2030. The Danish climate minister, Dan Jorgensen, said, "A massive increase in energy from offshore wind is the key to fight climate change, phase out fossil fuels and strengthen energy security." Well, Europe is beginning to get a few problems with energy security, so this makes sense. They probably should have done it years ago. But anyway, after that, over to you, Australia, with your somewhat pathetic targets for emission reductions and so on. Well, that's about it for news this time. Please don't forget, click that like and subscribe buttons below. This channel is growing, but faster would be better. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.